Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been a bit quiet recently. I've been working on some behind the scenes projects that I'm planning for the future. I'm going to try and get back to posting once a week as much as possible. But I had this questions from Kelly Williams, and she's wanting to know how I can go about creating a multi-layered image from a single image on ChatGPT. So that's what we're going to discuss today. Hopefully I can make it as clear and precise as possible. If you've got any questions, do leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to try and clarify how I do these things. So yeah, just drop a comment if you're getting confused or if I've missed something out or you want me to expand on something. That way I can try and answer them in the future and help you guys out. So to get things started, I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to create me a thistle that's geometric while still being realistic. And see what it comes up with. The first image that it's producing here, I don't hate it. It's quite a cool looking thistle, but it's not exactly what I want. I want that strong contrast between the white and the black. So I ask it to make it the two-tone image and a clear definition between black and white, like a true geometric image. This time it produces exactly what I'm looking for. Perfect geometric sort of style, two-tone cut out thistle that I can just copy and paste into Inkscape. So that's what I'm doing. Once I've done that, if you've watched my video before, you'll know I use trace bitmap quite a lot, so just update that. I'm happy with the results, and then click apply, and then drag that off separately, and then you can delete the original image from ChatGPT. Now that we've got this, then there's a few things we need to do. We need to make a few different layers, tidy up some of this excess holes that we've got in the top piece here, and find the best way to do that is just turn off the fill and then turn on the stroke, and then you can see it. Then pressing Control and K will break everything apart, and that means that you can just select it, draw a box around it, and then press the delete key, and that gets rid of all the excess nonsense that you don't want. So we'll just speed through that, get rid of that, and then change some of these lines so they're a bit tidier and they're not going to be too narrow or too fragile basically, and too messy. So that's what I'm just basically firing through just now doing. There is a few bits on here that are just not needed basically, so we get rid of them. Now that we've got that, then we can just go ahead and make the first outline, and this is going to be the backing border. Now you could use linked offset in the path menu there, but instead I'm going to go to stroke fill, and change that to 6mm. Basically what that does is makes the stroke bigger, and then once you've done that you can go into the path options and change it from stroke to path. And what that'll do is it'll create two paths either side of that big black line, and we can get rid of the inside one, and that'll produce the backboard. It's nice and simple, nice and straightforward, and you can see there it fits over. Once I align them, 2 seconds, it fits over really nicely, and it gives that perfect outline, just what we're looking for. And yeah, so that's 2 layers done. Now I want to make the head of the thistle, not the feather bits at the top there that you see, just the sort of bulbous area, and the stalk is going to be the 3rd layer. I'm only doing 3 layers in this. You could go as far as you want basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and just delete all the nodes that I don't want to keep, just by drawing a box around them and deleting them. So I'll go ahead and do that and then come back. So now that I've done that, then you can see I've just got the head left. So we'll just tidy this bit up by again deleting these nodes, using the functions at the top there, and replacing the path, and then that gives me something to work off. I can layer that over the top of my original design, and Bob's your uncle. So I'm just going to get rid of the sort of fluffy bit. If you know what the top of a thistle looks like, get rid of that fluffy bit, because I don't want that in this bit. So again, it's just a case of deleting the nodes, and then we're left with a hooped path, so we'll get rid of that in a second, and then I'll draw in sort of the top myself. So we'll just use again those 2 tools at the top and get the pen out and start drawing in a new path and then sculpting that to make it look realistic. So you don't have to be too pernickety when you're first going over this. It's just to get a rough shape in, and then we can use the nodes editing tool and just move those and make them curvy to suit the thistle head itself. So again, we need to reduce the size of this. So again, I'm just going to go back in and edit the stroke width, and basically the exact same as I did for the actual border, but this time I'm making it smaller, so we'd select the inside line rather than the outside line. So I'm just making it 2mm this time because I don't want a massive difference in the step up onto this layer. So we'll just go in, and then again, to break that apart, you just press Control and K, and that breaks it apart, and we can delete that interior line. It looks kind of close in some bits, but it's not. Once I change the width of the paths, you can see there's plenty of room, and then obviously once the job's cut out, you'll see nice and close that there's plenty of space and it's not too fragile. So yeah, now that I'm happy with that, what I do is I'll go in and add the stem, because I decided after I was going to add the stem to it to make it look a bit better. But yeah, you can see how it just slides over, and although it's subtle, there is a step down in size between the 3 layers now, and that's exactly what I wanted. So here's the stem. I did this exact same process as before. I'm just going to add it in and join that to the head there. And to join those two, I'm just going to select them both and hit the union under paths menu. So once I'm happy with the alignment, it's just a case of joining these two bits together, which is straightforward, and it removes that bit there. So now that I've got all those layers done, I need to make a layer and those little cutouts in the thistle head below. For this time, I'm going to use linked offset just to show you the difference between the two. There isn't a huge amount of difference. Sometimes you might find that the linked offset isn't quite as accurate as it could be. So what I was just doing there is selecting them all and making them all one body, if you will. So here we've got the linked offset tool, and I'm just going to change the size of the path down a bit so it's a bit easier to see what's happening, and make sure the fill's off. And then you see that little node, yeah, we just need to drag that down until we're happy with how much of a relief it's given, like how much space it's taken out. And that's basically the linked offset tool. And you obviously need to, once you've done that, convert it to a path, just so it's not still the linked offset path. So now that I've done all that, what I've done is I've coloured them slightly different so you can see them easily, and then I've just positioned them, and I'm just making sure that I move them as close as I can together so they take up less room on the board, and then we'll get them cut out. So here's the Mira 9S in action, the autofocus. It's absolutely beautiful, it's so smooth and simple, and because it's built into the head itself, you're not going to have any problems crashing it. I think it's a really cool feature. So this is just a speed through just to show you it cutting through, and then we'll come back after this and show you it stacked up and how it actually looks. And I think it's quite an effective way of doing things, and I really do hope I've helped Kelly with this video. I think I've answered it the way she was hoping, but we'll see. Yeah. So obviously, as you know, I'm sponsored by Aeon, and I actually have an affiliate link in my bio. So if you would be interested in looking at the prices, buying a Mira 9S or any of the Aeon range, have a look via that link in my bio. It doesn't cost you any more to buy the machine, but I get a little kickback, and that kickback would go straight into producing these videos, so getting different materials, that sort of thing. So yeah, if you're looking at getting a Mira, do consider that. So here's the 3 cutouts. Then I did film the board coming off and stuff, but I actually had just got stung by a wasp in my shed. That was fun. So was a bit of a mess, so I just cut that out of the video. So you can see here me just gently positioning everything. Obviously if you're wanting to paint it, you would paint it first and then stack it up and glue it. It's kind of hard to film in this light, but I hope that you can see what I've done and you like it. So if this video has helped you out, please do consider subscribing to the video. It really helps me grow the channel, and by growing the channel I can make more content and help you guys out as much as possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like the video and, like I say, subscribe. Thanks. Bye.